Some warning signs that a colleague would notice if there's someone who's in need of help, many times I would say is it's going to be a change in behavior, which is really something it's unique to each individual. There isn't something that's going to be just one change that's there. I mean, if you have somebody who's normally introverted and suddenly they start, talking a whole lot more, that could be just as much of a change as the more classic someone who's outgoing becoming introverted. So more classically, I'm concerned about that person who's always talking to everybody else and sharing with everyone, and now they start to you find that they're going home as soon as they're off of work, they're going and eating their lunch separate from everyone. They're really not discussing about the latest sports event or something else that they would have usually talked about. Those would be big changes, but any kind of behavioral change. Other things to me that would be a concern is someone who doesn't take their vacation. And that's a big issue because not only do they need that, many times that's a sign that they're trying not to go and do something different. They almost want to just go through the routine and not have to think about anything else. It's just day in and day out doing the same thing that they always do. And then the biggest concern that I would say is when someone says, fine. You ask, how are you doing? Fine. That's it. And to me, that's a concern because if you're having a problem, the hardest thing to do is actually go ahead and talk about it. You don't want to share. You don't want to have to relive what's going through. You really would prefer just to sit there and just avoid it, not even have to think about it. And so if someone asks you how you're doing and you start to discuss it, that's not avoiding it. That's having to actively face your problem. So instead, you say, fine. Well, the hope is by saying fine, they drop it. They just move on to something else. So to me, unless you really know somebody in and out and you just had a conversation 10 minutes ago, if I ask how you're doing and you tell me fine, that's actually a sign that I need to really dig a little deeper and going, hey, is everything all right? Anything you want to talk about? Oh, I'm having a stressful day. Do you have, how's your day going? Try to probe just a little bit further and kind of see how they're doing. And those would be some of the initial signs, I would say, is just going through, not answering the way they usually would, just short one-word answers that are non-passionate, and really the change of behavior from what you normally see.